and you're welcome to TIP Fathers Conference 2023. I am very excited to be your host. My name is Wendy Logan, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Over the past 5 years, while working with parents at the Intentional Parent Academy, one thing that we have discovered that is very significant is the importance of fathers in the journey of parenting the child. We initiated the TIP Fathers Conference in 2020, which has consistently guided more fathers towards understanding that parenting is a fundamental responsibility for them. Now, witnessing the remarkable outcome in families where fathers are actively engaged in family system have been our primary motivation. We have seen fathers become amazing in the past 5 years. Now, in 2020, the conference was focused on the boy, the father, and the society. That was the theme of the conference. And in 2021, the theme was the involved father. We talked about how being involved as a father is one of the key aspects of raising a child who will thrive. And then in 2022, we delved into the concept of daddy is destiny. Daddy indeed is destiny, and we were able to look at that concept and it transformed life. This year, 2023, we proudly present to you the TIP Fathers Conference with the theme, Daddy, where are you? Our goal is to reinforce the notion that every child needs a father figure in their lives. At Intentional Parent Academy, we understand the immense significance of fathers and fatherhood in our society. That's why we have created this conference for you, fathers alone, to equip and to also guide present and future fathers with the necessary knowledge and also skills that matter in parenting. We also acknowledge the immense burden on your shoulders, fathers, and we aim to teach you to balance that in life. Gentlemen, fathers, and the seed of our nation, we warmly welcome you to the TIP Fathers Conference 2023, where we will continue our mission of empowering and supporting fathers in the parenting journey. And today, we're going to start with our sessions where fathers who are also in this industry would also be bringing to you amazing insight. Sit back, enjoy the process, and hey, we'll bring you good news. We are cheering you up. That's the wonders in the academy. See ya and have an amazing time.
The TIP Fathers Conference is here and I am super excited. I feel privileged to be a sponsor of this one-of-a-kind conference. As the matron of the Mastermind Circle with Kamsi, a peer mentorship and accountability group, where I partner with my teenage son to help him and other children between the ages of 6 and 14 begin their journey of self-direction, consolidation, leadership, academic excellence, and honing their skills and turning their hobbies into profitable and productive endeavors. I cannot tell you how excited I am about the role that parents play in the lives of their children and how parents or fathers being involved make all that we do a lot easier. So yes, I'm excited and I can't say thank you enough to Coach Wendy for putting this together. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sam Obafemi. I'm the Chief Executive of SECA Africa. SECA Africa is a proud sponsor of the TIP Fathers Conference convened by the Intentional Parent community. At SECA Africa, we're concerned about communities, activating communities, supporting communities to build economic power for members of these communities. We're concerned about mobilization, ecosystems, marketing, strategy for business, and business process engineering. So at SECA Africa, we support the TIP Fathers Conference because we know this community can grow economic power for everyone in this community. Welcome to SECA Africa. Please follow us on all social media platforms at MySECA Africa, or visit our website, circleafrica.com. Thank you.
Well, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, gentlemen and daddies in the room. Once again, you are highly welcome, special welcome to the day one of this year's TIP Fathers Conference. We've had two amazing, wonderful sections, and now we will be starting our third section. My name is Justin Eguyenga, and I will be the host for this third section. Before I proceed, I want to specially give a very big thank you to Coach Wendy, our amazing coach. She is one of the best parenting coach in the world. You can argue that with Google. And I want to also say a very special thank you to TIP Academy for this amazing opportunity to be your host for this section. I want to believe that most of us that were at the last section with Mr. Akinroko Akinlami Lant and gained a lot from his wealth of experience. I'm very sure those of us that were participatory in that section had one or two things that we picked from the section. And if you don't mind, I just want us to drop one or two things we picked from that sections. What we were able to learn from the experiences he shared, from his message. Let's have a recap of what we did in that section. You can just drop it on the comment section. You can also share our iconic emoji, the fire emoji, just to express how you felt during the section. You can drop one or two chats. What was your learning from that section? What was your wow experience? What did you pick? Somebody might be there that might have missed it, and then what you share will be what the person will eventually take home. Let's just keep dropping it in the chat room. For me, one of the key highlights there was when you spoke about the fact that there's a power in forgiveness. When you have, regardless of the kind of experience you've grown up with as a child, there is power that comes when you learn to forgive. If it's either your dad or it's your mom, and releases you of any kind of hurt over the years that you've had and all of that. So I'm sure one of two other things we might have picked from that section would have caused a change or a shift in our lives or experiences as well. You can just drop that in the chat room and let others learn from you what they picked from that section. And while that is ongoing, those are joining in for the first time in this conference. It's an annual event, but then the TIP Academy is an inner circle annual subscription that is a coaching program, that is set up to enable parents out there to transform their life. I've been a member of the TIP Academy for 2 years now, and I can bet you it has been an amazing journey. And I'm sure for the fathers are also there can testify to the fact that what you pick from the academy is not what you can learn elsewhere. It's not what you can learn from outside. It's a platform, is an academy you want to join and be a part of, because it will transform your life, not just as a person, but as a father and as a husband. Before we proceed, I want us to just have a quick review from one of our fathers in the academy as he shares his own experience being in the academy. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is David Folarami. I'm the presiding director of the David Folarami Foundation, a non-governmental organization.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Sunday. I heard about the Inner Circle in August 2022. Actually, I have always followed the Lakule Shorio. So when he posted about the conference, I think on his timeline or so I decided to listen. And during the conference, I heard a lot of things, and of course, I heard about the Inner Circle. So I decided that I'm going to join. So that's how I got to know about the Inner Circle for the first time. So when I joined the Inner Circle, it has been a journey of unlearning and relearning. A lot of things that we've always known about parenting is very awkward. It's been so awkward, and I had always wanted to learn about parenting. I always tell my wife that we've never been parents before, so we need to learn about parenting. So when I joined the Inner Circle, I didn't even tell her. When I got to tell her, that was in December, she was very mad. Why would you go and spend money for parenting when we have needs for money? Well, I kept quiet. But the first thing I did was to stop screening in my house. Yes, I had to do that. Even though I miss watching television, I love wrestling a lot. I had to stop subscribing to DSTV. And then I had learned how to speak calmly to my children. I stopped beating as well. And now I buy more books than I used to buy. Yeah, I was buying books, but now I buy more. And of course, I don't just buy, I make out time to read with my children because I still have toddlers. And then I speak calmly to them when they do the wrong things, and I'm firm about it. They know when I'm serious. The Inner Circle has really changed a lot of mindsets I have about parenting, and I'm so happy, I'm relaxed. I want to invite every father, if you're not yet in the Inner Circle, you're missing something huge. The Inner Circle is peace when it comes to parenting. The Inner Circle is where it all happens. Every aspect of parenting is covered in the Inner Circle. So I look forward to seeing many fathers join the Inner Circle so that parenting our children will be a thing of delight. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much. Inner Circle is a place that you want to be. It's not mincing word, it's a place you really want to be. So right off the bat, we'll be calling in the next speaker for our third section, Mr. Sam Obafemi, as we wait his
Popularly called Coach Sam, Samuel Obafemi has carved a niche for himself in the practice of emotional and behavioral therapy. After working for about 8 years as a graduate of computer science and gaining a massive experience developed via working in several industries including manufacturing, oil and gas, ICT and payment card infrastructure, Coach Sam reinvented his career by developing new competencies in human science. In our practices as a behavioral change advisor, with niches in fear mastery, stress management, emotional intelligence, anger mastery, and peak performance coaching. He has consulted and provided training extensively for corporate organizations, including but not limited to NLNG, Pengasan, MTN Nigeria, USAID GECHAAN Taraba, NNPC Cooperative Limited, Federal Inland Revenue Service FIRS, Corporate Affairs Commission CAC, Emerging Platform Groups, Faith Foundation, Leap Africa, Poise Nigeria Limited, Benton Idahosa University Benin City, Global Knowledge Group, Vet World Limited, Heartland Ice Cream Delight Limited, individuals and groups on influencing behavioral change through process development or direct personnel interventions and solutions. Principally, Samuel develops content for capacity building, training and development, life coaching, and business systems enhancement. He was also a UWIN monitor and consultant to UWIN SMEs in the North Central region. A graduate of the prestigious Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, formerly Federal University of Technology Bauchi, with a BTech Honors in Computer Science, Samuel proceeded to acquire professional qualifications in human systems. He is the first Nigerian certified anger mastery coach and therapist from Century Anger Management Institute USA, and a certified peak performance business and life coach, NCFE UK. Sam is a certified master NLP practitioner, an Ericksonian hypnosis expert, a neurological repatterning therapist, a performance consultant, results coach and result technologies advisor. Samuel is a versatile teacher, public speaker, writer, and business advisor. He is the author of some books, including The Mirror of Your Darkness, Fearless Seed, 5 Musings, Rebellion is a Need, The Vexed God, My Values, Vision Clarified, Where Are the Goals I Set, Salt Lake Therapy, Healing Yourself Through Emotional Immunity, and 5 distinct steps to measure results on your efforts. His audio CDs titled 4 Pillars of a Strategy, Anger Mastery, and Emotional Intelligence are in very high demand across Nigerian cities. Coach Sam Obafemi is a recipient of the Nigerian Youth Merit Award in the Excellence in Leadership category 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome to the 2023 TIP Fathers Conference, Coach Sam Obafemi.
Okay, I guess I can start.
Coach
Hi,
Sam,
Justin.
good evening. Good evening. Good to have you on the platform.
Thank you.
Can you hear me, please?
I can barely
I can
hear you,
you,
but I hope you can hear me.
Okay. Loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear. It's
Okay.
joining us this evening, and we are so super excited to have you in this platform. I took my time to listen to all that was read in your bio, and it's mind-boggling. It's really mind-boggling, and I can just wish to have a quarter of what I'm just seeing there. I wait in anticipation, as I'm very sure that most of us waiting in the room will be getting a lot from your wealth of experience. We'll be gleaning a lot from you today. So I'll be handing the floor over to you as we delve into your section. Coach Sam, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you to the team for all you are doing year in and year out. I'm very happy to be here. I would like to say that in case you need to engage me, I'm talking to the team, please send me a chat because the voice on the receiving end is cracking so I can really follow your instructions. I'm very happy to be here. Only Wendy is the one that can bring me out of vacation to have a session like this. And I'm very happy to do this again and again. It's a pleasure to be on the TIP platform once again. Good evening, everyone on this call, especially fathers. Thank you for joining on this call. And I pray and believe that tonight we're going to have a very vibrant conversation. If you can hear me and you are ready for my conversation, please type 10 in the chat room, in the comment section. Please type 10, 10. Let me know that you can hear me and we're ready for this conversation. Very, very important. I've followed the posts, the captions from, okay, Steve Glory, maybe you turn. Okay, so let me know if you can see me from here. Wendy, just confirm if you can see me while I continue. Okay, so tonight my topic is Cry Like a Man, fighting for freedom from emotional incarceration. This is a very deep topic, and I want to take my time to explain some things slowly. I will take my time to explain some things slowly because this is a very important conversation. I have seen from the recap of our previous speakers, I heard a very small snapshot from Reverend's session, and then I saw some captions from Rockbo's session, and I'm going to build on that because from what I've seen that they've talked about, They have shared some perspective that I would have also shared, and I'm going to build on that. The first thing we are going to establish is that every father today is a byproduct of an upbringing that you already know. Every father today was raised by some people to become whom he has become. Every male father is a byproduct of upbringing. A man somewhere and a woman somewhere raised the man today that has become a father. If he did not have the privilege of his biological father and biological mother, he had the privilege of a family, a community, a group, somewhere. A man today that has children grew up somewhere and became who he has become. That we already agree on, I believe. Now, we also need to agree on some things. There is a biology of a man, and that is the area I'm going to try to discuss today, the biology of a man who has become a father. The biology of a man who has become a father. What is the biology of a man that has become a father? The biology of a man that has become a father is that the man is an emotional entity first, before he's a physical entity. The man is first an emotional entity that governs his physical behavior, his behaviors. All fathers have an operating system that is emotional. All fathers have an operating system that is emotional. A father today biologically is governed by his emotions, upon which he becomes a father, upon which he acts as a father. And that is the context we're going to be breaking down today, the emotional state of a father. Now, when I got the topic, cry like a man, that topic, I debated it a bit, and let me explain why. Because there is no cry that is like a man, that is different from crying like a woman. The biology of a father is such that he is exposed to the same emotions his wife is exposed to. A man is exposed to the same set of emotions that a woman is exposed to. So the first place a father must begin his fatherhood as a journey is to ask himself, have I healed emotionally? Do I exhibit the emotions that I see women exhibit? That is, for me, a very sensitive question a father should ask himself. Before you even start asking, how do I become a better father? The first question you should ask yourself is, am I allowing myself exhibit emotions, how I see women, in quote, exhibit emotions? Very important. Some of the disservices, if there's a word like that men have suffered is that we're expected to man up, be more manly because we are not women. I think that's one of the biggest disadvantages that men suffer. It is a big disadvantage that you are expected to be unwomanly. If I put it that way, we're expected to be manly and not act like women. No wonder it is difficult for adult men to understand how to take care of adult women. You know why? Because we can't relate with how they feel. So there is a damage at the emotional level that men have suffered that does not make them connect emotionally and take care of the female in their lives. So how does a man function as a father that is showing empathy and kindness and vulnerability and originality and authenticity when he cannot relate with the woman he is married to. So the first thing our fathers must begin to embrace is emotional wholeness. Emotional wholeness. You as a man should begin to ask yourself, how much of my emotions am I in touch with? What are the emotions I am in touch with that I feel? What do I feel and how do I feel it? What are the emotions that I can connect with, that I'm experiencing on a daily basis? If you can ask yourself these questions and track your emotions, it is easier for you to see these emotions in your children and help them through those emotions. As a father, do you feel fear? As a father, do you feel and recognize anxiety? As a father, do you feel and recognize brokenness? As a father, do you feel and recognize being vulnerable? As a father, do you feel and recognize doubts and regrets and agitation? Do you feel and recognize joy and fulfillment and happiness and pride? These are emotions. Can you say you know these emotions? These are very important things for your emotional wholeness. Now let's do a bit of practice. Let's do one small practice right now. I want you, wherever you are sitting right now, to close your eyes. Just be with me. Close your eyes. Think of one incident that has happened recently that made you feel very happy. You felt very fulfilled. You felt very excited. You felt very, very deeply grateful. There was just this feeling of, oh my God, life is so good. At this moment, think of that moment. Replay what happened at that time. Replay that moment and all the incidences at that moment. Now, I want you to open your eyes and I want you to type for me in the comment section, which part of your body did you feel that? Hello, Justin. I saw your message. Can you still hear me? If anyone can hear me, let me know. Okay, thank you. So, like I was saying, which part of your body did you feel? I want you, somebody should help me trace in your body, where did you feel that satisfaction and fulfillment and gratitude? Which part of your body? Which part of your body? Physically, which part of your body did you feel that moment of gratitude? Let us test something. Which part of your body did you feel that sense of gratitude? That sense of, so Digoha said, my heart is the part of the body I felt it. Fantastic. Okay, Colin says my heart. Chizurum says the heart. Young Shagro says in my heart, my heart, my heart. Okay, interesting. Shaya says everywhere in my body. Now let us go to another activity. I want you to go back and close your eyes again. Close your eyes again. Close your eyes again. I want you to remember, for any of your children, something very fearful that happened with any of your children. Fearful. I want you at this instant to replay what happened immediately, like recollect what happened with that child that was scary. It made you afraid. You felt some sort of crazy fear. I want you to tell me, which physical part of your body are you feeling that emotion now? Which part of your body? That fear, that agitation. Adin says, my cheeks. Okay, interesting. Who else? Olari, it says my mind. Physical part of your body. Which physical part of your body do you feel that sensation? There's a sensation. Some of you, your hair will rise. Some of you, your chest will beat faster. Some of you, your legs will shake. Chinonso says my head. Tony says my fingers. I like that. Yes, tangible. Adin says my chest. Now, for all of you that are saying my heart, yes, Justin says I felt goosebumps on my skin. Thank you. Some of you that are saying my mind, some of you are saying my soul, some of you are saying my heart. I'm sorry to break this news to you. You are not in touch with your emotions. If you are in touch with your emotions, all emotions have physical representation. Physical. I'm not talking about your soul. I'm not talking about your heart. There's a physical representation of all emotions. All emotions have physical representation. If as a father, you are not connected to your physical emotional representation, you will not relate with your child's emotion. I can tell you categorically, if you cannot associate your emotions at the physical level, where you have palpitations, your legs, your hand, your hair, your head, your chin, something on your body would physically respond to your emotions. When you practice this and you become conversant with knowing how your body responds emotionally, then you can begin to understand when your child expresses a particular emotion. You can understand when your spouse expresses a particular emotion, because then you can relate. That's why I said the first thing a father must do is to desire emotional wholeness. When you desire emotional wholeness, then you realize that you are repairing your body emotionally. You are repairing your body emotionally. So for the next 21 days, I want you all to practice what we call a diary of emotions. A diary of emotions. And I'm going to establish the following procedure for you to design a diary of emotions. The following procedures. Number one, set an hourly alarm to check your emotions. I want you to physically set an alarm on your phone or on your mobile device or on your wristwatch that will ring and remind you every hour. So every hour, your alarm should ring. That's the first step. The second step, when your alarm rings, I want you to check yourself. How am I feeling right now? How am I feeling right now? Step number two, when your alarm rings, I want you to ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? That is step number two. What do you know? How do you know what to write when you ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What you should do, I want you to pick your mobile device now and Google the statement list of emotions. List of emotions. You know how to write a list? So I want you to Google list of emotions. It is going to show you, there are several websites you will find. Click any of the websites. It will show you a whole long list of emotions. Long list of emotions. So when that hour rings and you're asking yourself, what do I feel right now? You will use the list as a guide to write the name of the emotion you are feeling at that time. That's step number two. I want somebody to be writing the steps for me as I'm naming them. Step number one, I said, is set an hourly alarm. Step number two is ask yourself, how do I feel right now? And I told you to Google list of emotions so that you can guide yourself with that list to know how you're feeling at that moment. That is step number 2. Step number 3 is, what part of my body do I feel this emotion right now? What part of my body do I feel this emotion right now? That's step number 3. What part of my body do I feel this emotion right now? That's step number 3. You need step number 3 to be able to relate and associate what you're feeling physically, because we have said all emotions have physical representations. All emotions have physical representations. So that's step number 3. Thank you to those that are writing in the chat room. I want to see step number. Okay, Justin has written step number 3. Step number 4 is this emotion. What is the message of this emotion? What is the message of this emotion? What is the message of this emotion? And let me explain the message of your emotions. Your emotions are telling you something that is happening to you. That is what your emotions do. Emotions are messages. Emotions by themselves are signboards. They are signboards. They are telling you something is happening to you. Something is happening around you. Something is happening with you. That's what emotions are. So the question is, what is this emotion telling me right now? Is it telling me I'm in trouble? Is it telling me I need help? Is it telling me everything is okay? Is it telling me everything is getting bad? Is it telling me everything is becoming better? What is the message that the emotion is telling you at that moment? That is step number 4. Then step number 5, what is my response to this message? What is my response to this message? What is my response to this message? Very, very important. 5 steps. 5 steps. Number 1 step, set an hourly alarm. Number 2, check what you're feeling when the alarm rings. Number 3, ask yourself, what part of my body am I feeling this emotion? Number 4, what is the message this emotion is telling me? Number 5, what is my response to this message? Now, when you follow these 5 steps, it is meant to achieve the following objectives. Number 1 objective that I need you to understand is that when you name your emotions, you master it. I want you to write in the comment section, name it to tame it. Name it to tame it. Name your emotion to tame your emotion. Name it to tame it. Somebody should write that for me in the comment section. Name it to tame it. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, we may not have ladies in the room. Dear fathers, we are called to master our emotions. We are called to resolve our emotions. We are called to own our emotions. We are called to grow on our emotions. We are called to master and govern our emotions. We are not called to be governed by our emotions. We are called to govern our emotions. So, there are ladies in the house, my due respects, dear ladies in the house. Now, you must grow capacity to name your emotions, precisely what they are. That is why I named those 5 steps, so that you can tame them, you can master them, you can govern them, you can promote them, you can rule over them. That is why we are fathers. A father is someone who has grown to lead his family. You cannot lead your family if you are throwing tantrums and you are susceptible to any emotional disasters. Today you are flippant, tomorrow you are touchy, you are throwing tantrums. You cannot rule a family that way. You cannot lead a family that way. So name it to tame it. you are expected to lead your family. And one way to lead your family is to name your emotion so that you can master your emotion. That is number one. I'm talking about the outcomes of that diary. The outcomes of your diary. Number one is to govern your emotions, naming it to tame it. Number two is to resolve guilt of your emotions. Resolve guilt of your emotions. I had said this earlier. Crying like a man is an aberration in the first place. When we expect a person to cry like a man, there's already an aberration. Crying has no gender. Crying is a legitimate behavior from an emotional context. Crying is a legitimate outcome of an emotional experience. It has no gender. And as a father, we must break down the walls of coloring emotions from a gender perspective. That way, you can be whole. When a father is governed by gender labels of emotions, then you begin to think that some emotions are abnormal. No, sir. No, ma. Emotions are normal. Psychology says there are 3,000 emotions that people would express in their lifetime. All these emotions are accessible to every human being. So crying is a legitimate outcome of an emotion being experienced. And that's the reason why you must name it to tame it. That is the reason why you must go through the diary so that you become conversant with your emotions without feeling guilty. It is okay to feel emotional and cry. It's okay to feel emotional and sober and sob. Sob is the word. Anything you feel is legitimate. Every emotion you feel is legitimate. Every emotion is legitimate. So a father must build capacity for emotional wholesomeness. Very, very key. Now, what do I want you to do with this message? What do I want you to do with this message? Number one, I want you to build capacity to accept yourself as an emotional being that is wholesome. Build capacity to accept yourself as an emotional being that is wholesome. That's the first thing I want you to do with this message. Number two, I want you to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And what does vulnerability mean? When you feel an emotion, embrace the emotion. When you feel an emotion, accept the emotion. When you feel an emotion, express the emotion. When you feel an emotion, accommodate the emotion. Don't fight it. Because the emotion is a message. It is telling you something is going on. And it's important for you to explore that something. Explore the journey that makes you know how to explore that emotion. So that's the second thing. Be vulnerable. Appreciate that you can feel an emotion. Many fathers are numb. Many fathers are numb. Let me tell you a very short personal story. Growing up, I grew up in a home where our mom used to think that anytime you took ill, she used to feel like you were just being lazy. Come on, stand up from that bed and be agile. Come on, you can't be sick. You can't be sick. Come on, stop it. And so we grew up with that tendency to feel that somebody who was sick was pretending. Somebody who was sick was not serious, or was just trying to escape. It is in retrospect that I began to understand that she was only expressing fear. She was afraid of what can happen when people fall sick. And I am happy to have repaired that part of my life. Because if you don't feel empathy, you can't be a wholesome father. You can't be a wholesome father. There are days your children will act extra. There are days your children will act exuberant. And if you're not wholesome, you take offense and be wondering, better grow up and stop it. Wholesomeness comes with a lot of fun, comes with a lot of realness. So that vulnerability is very key. Number 3 thing I want you to do with this message is for you to be authentic. You can't be an authentic father if you're not emotionally whole. You can't be. Authenticity comes from a place that this is me. While I'm not tolerating and indulging my bad vices, I'm also not going to pretend like I'm superhuman. This is me. That is authenticity. If you cannot arrive at authenticity as a father, you are trapped in your emotional vices. You are already in a trap of your emotional cages. Authenticity, being real. Your children should experience the authentic father that you are. Because if you are not an authentic father who is emotionally whole, your children will grow up, and let me talk about the female child here, the girl child, will likely grow up and be looking for a young boy, innocent boy, who is perfect because her father never expressed emotions. Her father never had any vulnerable moments. So the young, innocent girl will grow up and be looking for a perfect young boy who probably has grown up emotionally whole, and she's wondering, this guy is a weak guy. One lady once told me, I don't like guys that cry. And at first, it sounded like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm crying. Later, I'm like, well, sorry, I cry. If you don't want you better be going your own way. I'm not sure you want to raise that kind of a son for a future lady. Neither do you want to raise a girl that thinks that my dad never cries, so I don't want a guy that cries. That is damage. That is not normal. That's trauma. So I need you to be emotionally whole. Be authentic. The next thing this message should do for us as a community is let us help other men become authentic. It is not right to say, man up. It is not right to say, men don't cry. It is not right to say, guy, be like man now, be strong like a guy. It is not right to say, no fall our hand, you are disgracing us. Men don't do these things. No, let's help each other. Because there is a direct correlation between emotional wholesomeness and longevity of life. There's a direct correlation. You'll be healthier, you'll be happier, you'll be at peace, and then your emotions your hormones will respond. All hormones determine our well-being. That's just the logic, biologically speaking. Why we are well is a hormonal conversation. But what are hormones? Hormones are responses to emotions. All hormones govern physical health, but all hormones are responses to emotional behavior. So if you want to be physically well, your hormones will make it happen. But if your hormones will make your physical wellness happen, your emotional well-being will make that happen. I hope you see the relationship. All physical well-being happens because of hormones. All hormonal behavior happens because of emotional behavior. So if you're not emotionally vibrant, emotionally authentic, emotionally whole, your hormones are going to be misfiring. And when your hormones are misfiring, your physical body will suffer it. That is the direct relationship. So I want to round up by encouraging all of us. Please be interested in your emotional wholeness. Be interested in investing in your emotional well-being. When you need comfort, get comfort. When you need a listening ear, get a listening ear. When you need to settle down and feel sober, feel it. When you want to feel like you want to shed some good tears, feel it. When you feel excited, feel it. Every emotion is legitimate. Every emotion is legitimate. One last tip before I go. I see the time is running so fast. One last tip before I go. One of the fastest ways to build your emotional capacity as a man, as a father, one of the fastest ways to repair your emotional capacity as a father is to love a woman genuinely. Maybe an unpopular perspective, but I will say it one other time. If you can understand the anatomy of the woman in your life, focus on her, invest in her, serve her, build capacity to love her, you'll be repairing your own emotional break. You'll be repairing your own emotional tears, wear and tear. I speak with every sense of conviction. So, as a parting gift for all fathers, invest in your lover. Understand her. Learn about her. They say men can never understand women, but we keep understanding on the go, right? Invest in her. Keep learning about her. Keep understanding the nuances of their emotions. Keep relating with the emotions. Keep identifying the emotions. What these things will do for you is what we call neuroplasticity in neuroscience. What that means is this: there is a time your nerves in the brain will start sprouting. That's neurogenesis. It begins to form because you are learning something new. When your wife is excited, understand the excitement. When your wife is sober, understand the sobriety. When your wife is sad, understand the sadness. When your wife is happy, when your wife is crying, every emotion, try to understand what it means. What you're doing for yourself is that your brain is forming new nerve endings that is helping you learn about emotions. Guess who benefits the most? You. Because suddenly you begin to feel the emotion too. And then neuroplasticity means that the more you're feeling it, the stronger it gets. If you give yourself this training in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, there is no person that will be better emotionally balanced than you. Nobody. That is why men that love their women fully over time become so much more loving and produce wholesome children. This is my parting gift to all of us, and I hope you get it. And beyond everything, I hope you practice it, because I know there is a voice in your head that is fighting this information, but it's okay. Let that fight happen, and may we win. Thank you once again, TIP, for having me. I hope I added some value today. God bless you.
God bless you so very much, Coach Sam. As in, it's been very, very amazing. I was just carried away. In fact, you debunked a lot of our beliefs. Men are raised to think that we should not cry. That has been what the society has pushed to us, and you just debunked everything. It's okay to be emotional. Fathers should embrace emotional wholeness. I think that's what the summary of your message. Fathers should embrace emotional wholeness. I don't know. Our participants in the chat room, if you have questions, if you have any remark, you feel something is not clear to you regarding what Coach Sam has just dished out to us, you can drop your questions on the chat room. I believe with the little time we have left, we can touch one or two questions. I'm sure this subject today is something that resonates with most of us men in the house, because some of these issues are things that we don't want to open up to. we should be the men in the house. We should not cry because crying are for weaklings. But then, thank you for sharing the fact that it's okay to be vulnerable. Any questions in the house? Any question in the chat room? Let's make the most of Coach Sam as he's still with us this night.
Unfortunately, Justin, I can't hear you, so I hope.
I hope it's not the same thing for every other person. Okay.
I can read some questions in the chat room if I may proceed. Is that okay?
Okay, yes, please proceed. Yeah, it's fine. Go on, please. Coach Sam, you can go
Okay.
on.
Okay. I think I hear you say I should go on. Okay, so someone here, Oliver says, to show emotions, must the cry be public? Okay, so I think the conversation here is not whether it is public or not. The conversation here is, like we said, authenticity. If I am in public, an incident has occurred in public, and it provokes me to cry because the incident calls for me to cry, I don't see why I should be ashamed or afraid to cry. I really don't see that. So from my school of thought, is that the context is everything. And of course, because we say you should cry in public does not mean you open your mouth, wow, is crying like some thug or some untrained adult. No. But crying in itself is an authenticity, really. So I think that it's not a function of whether you should cry in public or not. I think it's a function of what is the scenario. If what is leading you to do is to cry, by all means express yourself. There's really nothing wrong with crying in public. No, nothing wrong with crying in public. So that for me is the direct answer to that. I wouldn't want to paint context. If the situation requires you to cry, please cry. If you feel you want to comport yourself and sob and just dab your eyes, whichever way works for you, don't suppress your emotions because you're trying to form big guy. They know they cry for this my dressing make no stain, or no be here make I no cry. Don't suppress your emotions. You're not serving anybody suppressing your emotions. That's my direct answer to you, Oliver. Kanye says, is it advisable to show all emotions? Is it advisable to allow all emotions to flow? I've already said, know the emotion, then govern it. Govern it means, that's why I asked you in the 5 steps. Canis, I'm not sure, I don't know if you were here when we discussed the 5 steps. Know the emotion, ask yourself, what does this emotion tell me? What do I want to do about? What's my response to this emotion? So while we're discussing allowing yourself to be authentic, I don't know what you mean by allowing the emotions to flow, but one thing is that when you sense an emotion, acknowledge that right now I feel angry. What's my response? What's this anger telling me? That's one of the questions I set in the 5 steps. I feel angry right now. What's making me angry? This is why I'm angry. What do I want to do about it? So you want to govern the emotion. You don't want to be acting on the impulse. Emotions do not require you to act on impulse. You're not human. It is, I don't want to use the word animal, so it doesn't sound condescending, but we are humans because we can govern our emotions. We are not humans that we can't govern our emotion. Let me put it that way. We were taught that boys or men don't cry. I believe that I have debunked that by my few statements tonight. I had to learn to cry. Thank you for that. It's very key that you learned that. So what of one that had built positivity so much around event that it's hard to see the negative side? We call this toxic positivity. When you see positivity in everything, nothing is bad. We call it toxic positivity. It is in itself a vice, because what that means is that you're not training your brain, because by the design of the brain, there is flight, there is fight, there is freeze. There is a time to fly based on your capacity. There is a time for caution. There is a time for restraint. There is a time for discipline. There's a time for response. When you see positivity in everything, it means that you're not going to, when you're supposed to be cautious, you won't be cautious. When you're supposed to refrain, you won't refrain because everything to you is positive. We call that toxic positivity. So
Positivity.
I would advise you to learn balance. You need to learn balance. Allow yourself to learn balance because this is very, very key. Hopefully that can help you. I see a question here. All emotions are legitimate. How do we deal with emotions like jealousy? Jealousy in itself is not a bad emotion. Jealousy there is a message. That's why I said all emotions are messages. When you feel jealousy as an emotion, you should ask yourself, what is making me feel jealous? I feel jealous because I desire what this person has. I wish I have it. Okay, so what will it take for me to have it? You have responded to that emotion. So I don't want you to just say jealousy is a bad thing, envy is a bad thing, anger is a bad thing. No emotion is good or bad. All emotions have their use. That's why I said all emotions are messages. If you are not processing the root of an emotion, you will not use it well. Even happiness, you can be happy about something, but you are not happy about a good thing. Your application of the happiness can even be wrong. So jealousy in itself is not a problem. The question is, what am I jealous about? What can I do about this jealousy? What's my response to it? Because it is a message. It is telling you if it's a function of comparison, it's a function of desire, it's a function of love, it's a function of ambition. That's what jealousy is. It's not a bad emotion. It's a message by itself. So I hope that helps. Um, Thank you, Agaba. I love you too. How do you practically handle a partner with mood swing? How do you best handle it? Number one, when you have a partner who is constantly having mood swings, there are several reasons behind it. One, it can be a personality issue. Some people are melancholic and they are usually prone. For example, there's a personality called sanguine melancholic or melancholic sanguine. Either way, that personality is very prone to mood swings, very, very prone to mood. So it can be a personality issue. It can be a trauma issue. That's another thing. It can also be a hormonal issue because maybe there's so much activity happening in the body and chemicals are misfiring, and then the hormones are just pushing that level of cortisol or that level of adrenaline, and that can lead to mood swings because there's what we call anti-climax. When somebody is hyper energetic, they can become so depressed in short spells. So you need to look at the root cause. Don't just say, this my spouse is always moody, every time moody. Now what for you? Now only you they suffer for this life. You don't judge people like that. You don't conclude like that. So what you need to do is try to have these conversations, try to understand where that is coming from, try to understand the root cause if possible. Encourage your spouse to seek counsel or seek a therapy. These things can be fixed. Don't get frustrated with your spouse. In fact, when your spouse has a challenge that is stressing you, embrace that challenge as your own. Work together to fix it because you self get the one way they manage. Let's just be very honest. So let's look at it that way. It's very, very key. Do I have any other question that I have missed? How about men who cry even more than women? Is it a dysfunction? It is not a dysfunction. We've already established that no emotion is gender-based. Crying is not gender-based. But the good thing is, like we have established the 5 steps, when you feel emotional, ask yourself what is making you feel emotional, then choose your response to the emotion. Because you cry easily does not mean you should be a crybaby. It doesn't mean that every small thing you are crying. You also want to ask yourself, what is governing this emotion and how can I master it over time so that it becomes a healthy emotion and doesn't make you look like some loose cannon. So I hope that helps too. What kind of emotion makes a man to cry when a situation touches heart? The emotion is emotion. Any emotion can make a person cry. Even good news can make somebody cry. Bad news can make somebody cry. So I don't know how to answer that question. If you have a teenager who talks like she's crying when she's corrected, is that proper? And does condemning it mean lack of emotional wholeness? So some teenagers or some children express themselves and try to, whine and all that. In itself is not a bad behavior. but you want to train them to have conversations and not just whine, because you're training a child that is going to become an adult that can lead to some negative behaviors like, blackmailing, like,
Yeah.
narcissism can even lead to narcissism. But in itself is not a bad behavior. Just sit with this child, repeat and reinforce a preferred behavior. Can we have a conversation? Because when the child is whining and doing all that, are they really communicating? So the question is, okay, now that you're doing this, how are you communicating? Teach them to communicate. Teach them to say what they want. Teach them to ask what they want. Teach them to express themselves. That way you're building an adult, in the future that can take ownership for how they feel. That is very, very key, if you ask me. I've always grown up around strong women. So when I see my wife vulnerable, I can't comprehend. How do I handle this and change my mindset? I will tell you the honest truth, sir. Your wife was not designed to be a strong woman. I like something. I saw Wendy wrote something on Facebook, which I agree with. She said, when you see a woman take the role that looks like a male role, it's trauma. And to a large extent, I agree. So what I would want you to do for me, sir, love your wife so much that she doesn't see the need to be a strong woman. Overwhelm your wife with attention, care, tender love, support, that she's wondering, why do I need to be a strong woman? I have this guy. So for me, don't fight it. Don't make it look like, well, you said when she's vulnerable, you can't comprehend. You grew around strong women. Okay, sorry, I missed that question. So maybe what you want to do is the strong women, let them be good wherever they are. Your wife, I think, in my opinion, is properly raised. Like a woman should be vulnerable, bros. Tender. A woman is flower. I'm sure you've heard this from Nollywood, Nigerian film. They'll say, where there is a flower in your compound, we came to pluck the flower. It's very true.
Yeah.
Let her be the flower, sir. Tend that flower. Biko, thank you. People say when you cry, you give room for your enemies to know they're getting at you. Hey, my goodness. Well, sir, where a situation requires you to cry, cry. When you finish crying, sit down, ask yourself, this enemy that made me cry, what's my response? I don't believe in suppressing emotions. That's the sum total of my talk. Whatever you do after the emotion is a different strategy. But you see that emotion, embrace it. There is just something wholesome about expressing how you feel in a wholesome way and being capable to say, I feel this way and I'm accommodating that emotion. It's very, very powerful. So please don't say, my enemies will laugh at me. They've got me. They see me crying. They don't get me. When you are finished crying, respond to the enemy, and then you can take it up from there. Even Jesus wept. Is that not what the Bible says? So let's not see like being emotional is something is like a weak guy. It's very okay to cry, please. We're told in leadership, never express anger. It is legitimate to express anger, especially when it is legitimate. Okay, this your statement is very confusing. Anger is a legit emotion. But just like we have said, master how you use it. Just like every other emotion, master it and use it appropriately where it matters. Daniel says, how do we deal with our emotions when we see our partner earning more than us? Appreciate your partner that is earning more than you. If your partner is earning more than you, it is you are the same team. Both of you are hustling for the same thing. Do you people have goals? Babe, you're earning this your salary. Can we sit down and decide what's our family project? What part are we contributing to this project? Let me tell you how it works for me, for example. I told my spouse, I said, because you work for your money, I believe you should use your money to take care of yourself. A portion of your money is your own. We have project, you contribute what you want to contribute, and we have our family expenses we carry together. I believe in personal income. That your partner is earning more than you does not mean that there is war. You both need to sit down and say, family project, how do we contribute to this family project? This is what I can bring. How much are you bringing? Don't even tell your spouse, you are earning 10 million, so bring 8 million. In fact, that 8 million, submit it. It's not in your place to demand how much your spouse should submit. It should be an agreement. Let it be a willing and voluntary contribution to family projects. It's not something to fight for. Because if both of you see yourselves as a team, this will not be an issue. So the emotion should not be that of agitation and fear and anger and anxiety. It should be a conversation around gratitude, a conversation about optimism, a conversation about progressive thinking. That's my take. Question: sometimes, if I get too emotional on the negative attitude displayed by my wife, I see myself going back to my shell. I will find it difficult for this to feel free around her. I think that's what you're trying to say. Well, I think that you should practice having conversations with your wife. There is what we call, my wife and I, we usually say hard talk. We call it hard talk. It is better to grow capacity to discuss everything with your spouse than to get, in your words, too emotional. And I think that over time, like Stephen Covey said in his book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, seek to understand before you seek to be understood. If your wife thinks that you are constantly trying to understand her perspective before you try to drive home your own point, she will also concede. But I think your wife will become more resistant when it feels like you're always trying to shut her up, you're always trying to suppress her, you're always trying to bully her. Then it looks like, what, not be only you did this marriage, I bet me too I did. So I think you should try to listen, understand where she's coming from, practice this conversation. It won't happen like this, but practice hard talk. Be having these conversations until it becomes normal to have hard conversations. One thing a father should not do is to run away from tough conversations. You cannot lead your family like that. Matter way hard, you say, if we have this talk, I will start shouting. I don't want to shout today, so we just leave her. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Have these conversations. Let it touch you. Let it poke you. Practice talking about it until you get used to having tough conversations. Because when your children grow up, you will have these conversations. Your child will grow one day and bring somebody, and you're wondering, how can I sit down with this child and have these conversations? Because you won't be shouting and you will not marry this person, you cannot marry this person. If the kid go look, you say, Popsy, better forget to go marry this person, So you need to practice hard because your children will drive you crazy. Maybe you think your spouse is the problem. Wait till your children grow up. Your children will press your buttons. Hey, you will wonder what to do with yourself. So you better practice hard conversations so that anyhow you're able to sit down, comport yourself, discuss these issues, and have a way forward. Very, very key. God bless you all. I really do appreciate the questions, and I have learned a lot myself. Thank you, Mr. Justin, for having me. Thank you, Wendy. Love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Coach Sam. We really appreciate all the wealth of knowledge you've shared this evening. They are very, very amazing and mind-boggling. Thank you so very much. I'm sure we can go on and on and on with questions. Like I said, this is a subject that resonates with most of the fathers here and most of the men in the house. So that's why the questions are just tripping in, emotions. So thank you so very much for joining us this evening. Thank you for that you've shared with us, and also thank you to all the participants who joined us this evening. We have actually spent more of the time we had allotted for this section, but it's all been enriching, it's all been insightful, so it's not a waste. We'll be continuing our section tomorrow, day 2, for the TIP Fathers Conference. And we would want all of us to make it a date tomorrow. Try and drag in 1 or 2 other persons, a friend, a brother, a colleague, to be here tomorrow. It's not a section you don't want to miss. The first section starts by 10 a.m. tomorrow. And I want to believe that all of us will be there tomorrow along with somebody else. Don't forget, the theme of this conference is Daddy, where are you? Daddy, where are you? Try and make it a date with us tomorrow, and I believe you'll be blessed. Till then, have a wonderful night rest, and God bless you all. Thank you so very much, Coach Sam, once again. God bless you super, super immensely. Thank you, and have a wonderful night rest all.
Thanks, everyone. God bless everyone.
Please do not forget to follow our speaker on his Instagram page, Sam Obafemi. If you want to follow him on what he does, you will see my Seca Africa. I'm sure if you go to the TIP page, you're going to see details on how you're going to be able to follow our speaker. And all of the details of our speakers will be on the WhatsApp group. We have over 2,500 fathers in that system. We hope that you guys find time to follow the coach. We call him the coach. All right. So that's my coach in the building. I salute you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm not sure Coach Sam could hear us. Thank you so much, Justin, and we call it a day today. See you and have an amazing evening.
Thank you, Coach Wendy. And you too.
Hello, amazing and incredible TIP Fathers Conference 2023 attendees. This is Coach Chinde Chindem, a life relationship and performance coach. I'm the founder of Married Life Management Limited and Limitless Life Pro Academy, all based in the UK. I'm excited to urge every one of you that are here today that have not registered for the Inner Circle program not to hesitate to do so. Prior to joining the Inner Circle program, I had no idea the amount of impact, the profound change, and the mindset shift that we experience. I'm a lover of personal development and someone that pursue every form of growth to challenge myself to a whole new level. But can I say that Inner Circle program is a whole new ball game? Because Coach Wendy ability, tools, strategies, and ways of parenting will make you to rethink how you do things, the way you connect, the way you engage, the way you lead, the level of authenticity you bring into your home will shift drastically when you get involved in the Inner Circle program. Testimonials are unparalleled, invaluable insight. The community of people are another thing that will push you to a whole new level. So I want to say that joining the Inner Circle program has changed me and will change you. And if you doubt it, why don't you give it a try? So do not allow this moment to pass you by. Register for the Inner Circle program. Cheers.
Hello, dear fathers. My name is Auntie Etima Ome. I'm the Queen Mother of the Girls Hub, and we are one of the official sponsors of the Fathers Conference 2023. The Girls Hub is an online mentoring platform for girls ages 7 to 19. We have 3 different classes, and at the Girls Hub, our main role and focus is to ensure that we raise girls that are confident. We support and we challenge them to be more. We are changing the mindset that girls are just meant to show off their beauty and their bodies. We are challenging our girls to become more, to be on the world stages and to make impact. The meaning of a girl in the Girls Hub is godly, impactful, royal, and a leader. That's what we've been doing since the year began. And so far, so good. We have testimonies of all the great things our girls are doing. We welcome you to join us because we run the program all year round. Etima Ume is my name on all the platforms. See you there, daddies, and congratulations as you celebrate your conference this year.
Good morning all, my name is Hayodeji and I'm happy to participate in year 2023 TIP Fathers Conference. I got to know about the Inner Circle through my wife, even though I've been an observer for quite some time. But this year I finally joined the Inner Circle. The journey into the Inner Circle has been so awesome, so educative, and I've come to learn and unlearn so many things. The truth is that you cannot be using 19th century method to parent in this 21st century generation. It's just like using an old syllabus, and you can't use an old syllabus. It won't be the same. And so I want to encourage other fathers to join the Inner Circle. And as you join, you will see the difference and learn how to parent well in this present generation. I want to encourage you to also have fun in this year TIP conference. Thank you all and God bless you. See you at the TIP Inner Circle.